back with segment 2 of the Cummins Real Estate Group show with Michelle Cummins and myself, Curtis Pope. Now, I understand we're going to be talking a bit about the foreign buyer thing that's been going on because, of course, there was the ban, but it's a soft ban, it would seem. It's not a real ban.
Yeah.
It's not a complete and total banishment like a couple buffet restaurants that I'm not allowed back to.
Me either. Ban, not banned. Canada relaxes ban on foreign buyers. They just implemented in the beginning of the year, and they've already decided to relax their law. So I'm going to read an article from Scarlett Murray, I think I'm still...
Or Murray.
Yeah. And it's written on April 3rd. It was updated April 4th, though. So I got the updated version. Now, she wrote it on the 3rd, updated on the 4th. So this isn't ChatGPT, everyone, okay? This is an actual person who wrote this.
You didn't write this?
I would think. I would hope.
Through ChatGPT?
No. So on January 1st, of course, Canada's partial ban on foreign buyers purchasing property came into effect. And that was partial because they could still purchase commercial or land only. On March 27th, significant amendments were made to the prohibition. Fortunately, these changes make it easier for you to become a homeowner in Canada. Work permit holders and property developers, listen up if you didn't already know. Find out the good news. So, what is the partial ban on international property buyers? Well, Justin Trudeau proposed a ban on foreign buyers in his 2021 election campaign. The act was then passed on June 28, 2022. It came into effect on the first day of this year. The ban is intended to last 2 years. The thinking behind the ban was that it would prevent international investors from driving up the price of property as many Canadians were struggling to buy their first home. Originally, the ban meant that foreigners could not purchase a property in Canada with a few exceptions, as I said. For example, the foreign nationals could buy a home if they were a permanent resident, obviously, or refugee claimant, which isn't surprising. How has the ban been amended, you ask, maybe? According to the Canadian government, the amendments have been made to further support individuals and families seeking to build a life in Canada by seeking home ownership, as well as to address housing supply issues. Work permit holders. Now, if you hold a work permit or are authorized to work in Canada under the Immigration and Refugee Protection regulations, you can purchase a residential property. Work permit holders are eligible if they have 183 days or more left on their work permit or work at this time. So we don't know if they'll change this again, but let's see. So however, though, they will not be allowed to do so if they have already purchased more than one residential property. Furthermore, there will no longer be any tax filings and work experience requirements. Previously, those on a work permit had to work full-time and show evidence of taxes filed for at least 3 of the last 4 years. These amendments strike the right balance in ensuring that housing is used to house those living in Canada rather than a speculative investment by foreign investors. A quick look at what work permits in Canada. So in Canada, there are 2 types of work permits: employer-specific work permit and open work permit. So employer-specific work permit is dependent on an offer of employment and a contract from a company in Canada. It limits the foreign national to working for one company in Canada in one position for a specific amount of time. An open work permit, well, by contrast, an open work permit allows foreign nationals to work in Canada without a job offer first. However, only select people are eligible for this work permit. The list includes international students who have finished their studies and those who have applied for permanent residency in Canada. Before, those with these work permits would have been impacted by the ban on foreign buyers. Now, if you were to go to Canada on a work permit and feel that you would like to buy a home there, the process will be much more straightforward. Now, property developers, listen up. The rules have been amended so that the ban does not apply to any vacant land zoned for mixed or residential use. This means that foreign property developers are able to purchase the land and use it for any purpose, including housing development. In addition, foreigners can also purchase residential property for the purpose of development. Why have these changes been made? And why so soon? In the first place, the ban was intended to address the housing shortage and to make the property market more accessible to Canadians and permanent residents. The ban was criticized for shutting out many of those that want to build a life in Canada. The amendment targeting those with a work permit addresses this. Secondly, by relaxing rules for international property developers, they are creating more opportunity to put to rest the housing shortage altogether. The Minister of Housing and Diversity and Inclusion said these amendments will allow newcomers to put down roots in Canada through home ownership and businesses to create jobs and build homes by adding to the housing supply in Canadian cities. These amendments strike the right balance in ensuring that housing is used to house those living in Canada, rather than a speculative investment for foreign investors. So that is the changes that we have seen in this ban.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
I guess it all kind of makes sense. I kind of see both sides of it. I know what they were trying to do, and then I can see how it, how it was probably affecting, being able people to come and start a new life here, too. So I can see both sides.
It's true. Yeah, me too. So I wanted...
Oh, she's got the glasses on. It's getting serious.
Yes. I'm going to get serious now because there's this awesome property.
All right.
I wanted to mention, I wanted to tell everyone about. If you are, let's say, a pilot, let's say you have a seaplane, but you have nowhere to park it or nowhere to fly it. Well,
you've got the place for them.
I do. And if you like fishing, if you like looking at water, if you like water skiing, if you like canoeing, kayaking, swimming, let's just say any water sport, and if you like privacy, I have the place for you. It's in Mission. It is obviously waterfront on Silvermere Lake, a very large private lake. That means no public access. Only those who own on the lake get to enjoy the lake. And yes, you can actually land your seaplane, fly out your seaplane. Let's say you want to go to the island for the weekend or a day. Hop, skip, and a jump with a seaplane. Go visit your friends in Washington or, I don't know. You create dreams, dream it. And this could be. So this house is from 1981. This is truly a character home. It is one of one because it's custom. They had a very large family and they customized it to them. When do you get 5 bedrooms on one floor? So it's a 2-story plus basement, but 5 bedrooms upstairs. On top of the 5 bedrooms, you've got a secret office in the back of the master bedroom with its own stairwell down to the garage. So you can either leave without the kids knowing, or your spouse knowing. And I want to go and you can have your office there. Like people coming up to your home, having a homework office, and they don't interrupt the family area, but you can have them privately go up to the office. Or you make a large walk-in closet like I would do. It would be my walk-in closet because it's so perfect. But this is on, again, this is pretty amazing, with waterfront to have over a half acre. Half acre.
Yeah, that's a good-sized lot. Well, they needed it with 5 bedrooms with that many people. They need some room.
Yes. And it's got one of the widest sandy beachfronts of the lake. Okay. Sand. So it's truly beachfront, and you can have they don't have a dock on it, but you can do that. Lots of people that live on that lake have docks. Lots of doctors, lots of dentists, lots of it's a nice street. And this one actually is away from Lougheed Highway. So the address is 9651 Silver Glen Drive on Silvermere Lake, and it's off Hayward Street. So most of them, the driveway's right off Hayward Street, and you're closer to the road, and you don't have a buffer, or you're closer to the Lougheed Highway because you can see the lake from Lougheed Highway. This one is off farther away from the highway, and it's on its own street, Silver Glen Drive, which across this house is all protected native land, so nobody could build there. And that's the buffer you have between Hayward Lake and this cul-de-sac. I think it has 5 property owners live on this one street, if I'm correct. So this house is a little over 4,000 square feet, but 1,200 of it is actually unfinished, above ground, walkout basement with 2 large sliding glass doors and a roughed-in fireplace for the center on that basement. But the main lever has it's a sunken living room, the 80s, and a wood-burning fireplace, and it's beautiful. The deck is on from both sides of the house looking out. You got a huge covered patio. It's awesome. So the price tag on this is $2,295,000, and it just listed. So call me today if you want a private showing of that. And then I've got an open house today at 30150 Keystone Avenue. This is an equine's dream. It's so cool. It's a log rancher with a walkout basement, and the basement is a suite, and it was done by the Property Brothers, which is really neat. So the Property Brothers did the suite, and it's got a barn, and it's got gardens, and it's got an in-ground pool. It's just beautiful. It's totally private. An open house today from 1 to 3. Go see Bill Murray, realtor who's hosting it for me, and have a look. And that one's at $2.1 million. And there you go. Those are my listings I wanted to mention. So I got a quote of the week, and are you ready for it, Curtis?
I am ready.
It does no good to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Harry Potter.
Oh, there we go.
I'm a Harry Potter fan.
Well, how can you not be?
And earlier, remember I said dreams?
Yep.
And I brought it back around.
Look at that. That's impressive. Well, people want to see these amazing listings. Where can they go?
Well, MichelleCummins.ca, of course.
And join us again next week when we will talk real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.